for presence.
2,500. Nadiji Examo.
Yeah, she's welcome back.
You're charged with failing to comply with the sexual offender registration requirements. Does she have cases pending?
Yes, she's out on probation. It looks like she's got a probation warrant outstanding.
The bond will be 2,500.
2 counts.
One is for not registering and one is for not keeping her address updated.
2,500 in ROR.
You want $1 on count 2 rather than
Yeah, $1 on count 2.
Okay.
Edith Ergam. Ms. Ergam, you're charged with grand theft and dealing in stolen property. I find probable cause.
State's requesting that Your Honor split the bond 2,500. Actually, Judge, it looks like the alleged victim is here. I'm going to promote her to a
Okay.
panelist before the court sets a bond to see if the victim has any inputs. So, Ms. Kirby, if you want to talk to the judge, you've got to unmute, turn on your camera. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, how are you?
Hey,
Did you
Ms.
want to talk
Kirby,
to-
how are you, ma'am?
Good, thank you.
The allegations are that this lady was hired as to clean your house and $45,000 worth of jewelry disappeared.
Yes,
And some of that jewelry ended up being pawned.
yes.
Have you recovered all your jewelry?
No, there's only one item that has been recovered from the pawn, and they are requesting that I pay $2,000 to get it back. So
Even
all
though-
the other items she still has or some,
Yeah, how many items were missing?
at least 15. I can go down the list.
So, ma'am, today the judge is going to set the conditions of her release, including a stay away order. I'm going to ask for a monetary bond for her release. And I would imagine in terms of any plea negotiations, getting back your jewelry would be an important factor. So she may want to talk to her attorney about potentially getting back that jewelry, because I think it would assist in resolving the case.
Date, what's your recommendation?
If Your Honor would set a monetary bond with a stay away order, 2,500 count 1, 5,000 count 2.
The bonds will be 5,000
Which I
count
would-
1.
I would ask for pretrial services with an alternate bond of 2,500 and 5,000. I see no prior record.
She has a discharge of a firearm, I believe.
No pros, Judge.
Which was reduced to county court.
Correct, and that was no pros. So it was a felony that was reduced and then no.
Okay. How long have you lived in Miami-Dade?
All her life, Judge.
Where'd you go to high school?
South Day Senior High.
I cannot hear her.
South Dade Senior High.
Okay. Who do you live with?
I live in my parents' house.
And where is that at?
In Florida City. How's that?
What's your address?
722 Southwest 7th Terrace.
And the reason I ask is, Ms. Curry, what's your address?
My address is 720 Northeast 69th Street,
Okay, hold on a
Miami.
second. Hold on a second. 720
Northeast 69th Street, apartment 17S, Miami, Florida 33138. I don't know if this is important information, but the pawn that she sold at least one of the items to is in Tamarack. So it's far.
I assume that you have been in contact with the detective in charge of this case.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. State, what say you with regards, and the reason I asked for the Ms. Kirby's address is because in the stay away orders, the address of the defendant was written instead of the address of Ms. Kirby.
Oh, okay.
So I have changed that to reflect Ms. Kirby's address.
Thank you, Judge. Again,
What say you with regards to pretrial services with alternate bonds of 5,000 each?
I would prefer a monetary bond, but it's up to you, Judge.
Counsel, due to the amount of the theft and I will, if she qualifies for pretrial services, knowing that it is in her most interest to be out there to get these things back returned to the alleged victim, I would allow pretrial services with the alternate bonds of $5,000 on each count. Ms. Aragon, since this is not my case, I think I can tell you this. I think your attorneys will eventually tell you that it is in your ultimate best interest to do everything you can to get this thing resolved in the best way possible, that your attorneys will be able to help you.
Okay, sir.
And I'll just leave it as that. Ms. Kirby, good luck to you, ma'am. I hope that you get all your jewelry back.
Thank you so much.
Judge, what's the bond?
Pretrial service, 5,000 each,
Okay.
the alternate bond. I believe the next person is Jamery Wiley. I beg your pardon, sir?
Does corrections have Mr. Martinez yet?
I have no idea.
Oh, and Judge, we do have Mr. Martinez now, if you want to take him out of turn. That's the one that we had.
Very last.
Oh, the very last, okay.
I put it
No,
on the
you
bottom
don't,
on purpose.
okay. Paulo Martinez, Roberto Martinez. Mr. Clerk, do you have any need for this?
Only if you're gonna put them on tap, you would hand it to her and she would give it to the tap agent so that you can have their priors.
Okay,
Only if it's for tap.
all right. Is Mr. Martinez with us?
They're bringing him in, Judge.
Okay. Dr. Martinez, are you a medical doctor?
No, a PhD in an LMHC.
Okay.
Yes.
And the reason I asked, well, I guess you will have insight as to your brother's mental condition.
Correct.
I know that I see him on the way there to counsel.
Yes.
Has he been previously hospitalized?
He has not, but in 3 different points in his life, he was diagnosed with schizophreniform disorder and just never complied with the medication. He started exhibiting those symptoms of schizophrenia in his early 20s. And in our family, Hispanic families, it's obviously the stigma, right, of mental health. So that really wasn't addressed until later in life when there was an episode. And I'm just trying to be calm here because this hits home. Obviously, it's my field and it's my brother. But I just want to first make sure I made it a point when he was arrested that he is hopefully in a unit there that addresses mental health needs primarily just for his safety and well-being. Do you know if that's the case, Judge?
Yeah,
He's in the Ferguson gown, so I think he's been seen by a psychiatrist.
Okay. Okay.
How's your father doing?
So my father is in the hospital. He's 90 years old, but you know, he obviously he survived, you know, what happened. Thank God. But it was my father, you know, was very harsh, you know, with him. His whole life he never accepted his mental illness. And this was the first act of, you know, my brother acting out physically. But my brother endured a lot of abuse from my dad, verbal abuse, you know.
Good question, ma'am.
And I don't know if this is the part I'm supposed to speak about all this. We're hiring Jeffrey Weiner, who specializes in cases like this, because we really feel that, you know, his response was a mental health crisis response and not a criminal intent, because my brother has a wonderful relationship with me, his sister, my mom, his siblings, family. My brother has never had any altercation with anyone else, despite the fact that he's never been on medication. But clearly, right, it's very visible that there is an issue here.
Ma'am, I have a quick question. Your
Yes.
brother lives with your dad?
Mom and dad, yes, his whole life.
Your mom's at home with him too. Okay.
Yes, my mom is like 88 years old, my dad 90. He has a wonderful relationship with my mom, very loving, very caring, but my dad, you know, very abrasive man his whole life. And when you have mental illness, you cannot cope like someone who doesn't have mental illness.
I have
So
a quick question too.
yes,
So do you think that he meant for your dad to get hurt so badly, or you think he meant to shove him and didn't mean like the extent?
I mean, I think it was something that was just simmering over time. And I mean, he with someone with a mental illness, I think he put up with it longer than someone who without a mental illness could have. In other words, he really, he was able to sustain such a harsh environment for so long that I'm surprised this didn't happen sooner, because it would have happened sooner with a well-minded person. But no, my brother needs medical attention. I want to assume guardianship so I could make sure that he is in a residential setting where he will have to be compliant with medication. And, you know, we have the funds to place him for life in a place where he, you know, can socialize and be free of, you know, the abuse that he did endure with my dad.
Yeah,
But my
I got
dad is
another
90
question
years
for you.
old. I'm sorry.
Another question. Does he have health insurance or is he on disability?
He never filed for disability. We've been wanting him to do that forever, but my brother doesn't execute. You know, he does not follow through on anything. And
What
so
about
he
insurance?
definitely is a candidate and he needs to, yeah. So
Does he have
definitely,
insurance?
he has insurance that I pay for. It's like one of those, you know, $60 a month ones, because he also refused medical care just for basic things like, you know, blood pressure, cholesterol.
So Ms. Court,
He
you
was-
want to try and get him into the hospital?
I mean, I think he needs to be in a hospital addressing his mental health needs, because he will not be violent with anyone. He just had an episode with my dad because at the end of the day, I mean, enough is enough. And my father, you know, is 90 years old, but my father is
Dr. Martinez Salazar,
yes.
can you email me his insurance information and I will reach out to a hospital to see if I can get him in. If it's okay with the court, we could reset him. for the afternoon, and we can see if we can get him into Southern Winds Hospital.
That would be wonderful, yes. I mean, he will not be violent anywhere else. I know he won't. This is,
One moment.
yes,
One moment.
my apologies.
Would that be okay with you, Judge? If we
Yes.
reset him for the afternoon and I'll
Sure.
reach to the hospital? Okay.
So state what I had you submitted an order granting pretrial detention. I
Judge, this is-
don't think that's gonna be necessary.
Hopefully we can get him into a hospital. Let's see if that happens. If not, then Dr. Martinez Salazar, we got to think about somewhere else. He can stay away from your dad for the time being. So let's first try the hospital.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We'll pass them to, what time is that afternoon calendar?
Supposed to be 1:30, but I think it's probably going to start later.
It's usually an hour and a half.
So, Dr. Martinez?
Yes.
I'm going to put my email in the chat. If you can please locate the information, you can take a photo of it if you can, or scan it. But as soon as you can copy that information and get it to me, I can forward it to the intake office of the hospital to see if we can get him in. Okay?
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm a little nervous right now. I want to go to the chat and then the email is there. I don't-
Yes.
Okay. Oh, no, I don't. Okay, now I see it. Rebecca Curry.
Perfect.
So what you
Yes.
want is a copy of his
I need his
insurance
insurance
card?
information. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
And I'm
Thank
gonna be
you.
meeting today with Counsel Jeffrey
We're
Weiner.
gonna have court again around 1:30.
Dr. Martinez, make sure you contact Ms. Curry and give her that information. I need to call another case.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I'm sorry, do I stay on the Zoom?
No.
No, once you get that information, or you give it to her, you don't need to stay on the Zoom. You can call back, this afternoon.
All right, let's talk about that. This was one of those hearings where the legal process intersects head-on with real human struggle. Judge John Mason handled the case with composure and care, balancing the law with empathy. The defendant, whose name isn't mentioned directly in the file, wasn't your typical courtroom presence. This case centered around mental health, family history, and a long simmering situation that finally boiled over. The key voice here was the defendant's sister, Dr. Martinez, who spoke with genuine concern, professionalism, and emotional clarity. She laid out her brother's history of schizophreniform disorder, his refusal to take medication, and the difficult family dynamic that may have exacerbated things, particularly with a father who, as she described it, never accepted his condition, and often used abrasive language. Judge Mason didn't rush. He listened. He asked direct but respectful questions. He seemed to understand the difference between a legal threat and a person in crisis. The courtroom atmosphere was serious, but it never tipped into panic or judgment. Instead, you could sense a collective effort between the judge, public defenders, and the family to get this man into the right kind of facility, not just a cell. The judge agreed to reset the case later that afternoon to give the family time to provide insurance documentation so they could explore admission to a psychiatric hospital. That flexibility and patience mattered. There was even a moment where Judge Mason walked back the idea of pretrial detention, opting instead to pursue a more humane, practical solution: hospital care, not jail time. It's the kind of moment that reminds you courts aren't just about punishment, they're also about problem solving, especially when it comes to mental health. One more thing that stood out: Dr. Martinez was clearly overwhelmed but never lost her footing. She showed up for her brother, and her words were clear, thoughtful, and heartfelt. There was no attempt to excuse his behavior, only to explain it in a way that called for compassion and medical support. And that's the tone this hearing needed. If there was a theme today, it was let's find help, not just handcuffs. Big credit to Judge Mason for steering that ship in the right direction. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.